Hi, how are you? My name is Houston and welcome back to another video. You could pretty much always open a bottle if you have a knife or something sharp, something with a good edge. Normally metal, like a lighter back works really well. I actually should have just used this lighter that was in the drawer, but you just use it as a hinge point, like right here. Pop it off. Actually, you could see that I've used this lighter before to do that exact thing. I don't even smoke. I've never smoked. Yeah, I always have lighters, candles. And no, this is not beer. Remember, we're sober. It is ginger beer though. Diet Cock. I would sell my soul for a sponsorship from these people. Some of the best ginger beer I've ever had. It's also that drink that I can easily get, like if I go out to the bar or if I go out somewhere with my friends, instead of getting a beer, instead of getting a cocktail, I can get a ginger beer, because ginger is just almighty plant. It's so good. Even when I go and get sushi, I'll just like nom, 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 nom. Before starting the video, I realized that because of my new wallpaper background, if I don't put a full screen like dark application on both my side monitors and OBS on my front monitor, it just completely washes either side of my face or the front of my face out with orange. So like if I move the one on the right monitor, you can see that obviously a lot of orange going on. And then if I take the one off the front monitor, yeah, that's pretty bad. If you're curious, this is my background right here. Shout out to Podgy. Like half of my wallpaper folder is just art that he's made. So yeah, check him out. I'll put his link in the description. All right, here we are on Hades, the roguelike game that I was talking about in the last video. I'm gonna see if I can get a good run or two in, and yeah, we'll see where it goes. I got 24 escape attempts. I got so close yesterday on 2 attempts. I had great kits. Actually, one of them was like a weird kit, but I don't know, somehow I still managed to make it to the very end. From the get-go, you can see what I was saying the other day about the art direction in this game. Something that really sticks out to me, apart from obviously the fantastic quality of like the illustrations for the environments and the items in it, is all the colors that are present. You might think, oh, all these colors would clash, but somehow all of these colors work. You know, you got the brown from the rug, the red from the floor tiles, all the purple, the red, all the jewels. And I just feel like, I mean, the blue of the bed, the green hue that's glowing from this area over here. It really is amazing how these devs, these artists, can create such like a cohesive environment from all these colors and all these designs. Whenever I designed things, I always had a little bit of trouble dealing with too much color at once. So to see somebody like really putting it into practice and making something like this, it's just such a pleasure to look at. So I saw this quote this morning from Seneca that said, "Wherever there's a human being, there's an opportunity for kindness." As much as I completely believe that, and I think that I embody it quite a bit, like try and be nice to people, I do feel like there are some points, like when I'm interacting with people on the internet, that I like almost completely forget about that. In my journal this morning, I kind of like touched on that. I don't want to reveal my whole journal entry, but there's a lot of moments where sometimes I will get wrapped up in this, in like the bullshit of online, and I'll find myself just not really adhering to the type of person that I always say that I want to be. And they say that, like, you know, wisdom is when you close the gap between the person who you are and the person who you want to be, or the person that you talk about being. And so I was kind of like, you know, I don't know, mulling that over in my head this morning when I was writing stuff down. And I thought to myself that with how the world is right now, or at least with how the internet is, there seem to just be so many incentives around like rage baiting and just seeking attention, just, you know, just saying bullshit when you like when you want attention, because it just gets clicks, right? And everybody knows that. That's nothing new. It's not like I'm having some fucking epiphany or some revelation that nobody else has ever had before. What am I doing in my circle to just to minimize that sort of behavior? And I thought, okay, well, I feel like I'm doing a decent job at that, but I also feel like I could be doing a lot better. I've been like messing around on Threads a little bit, kind of scrolling and posting here and there, whatever. And it just made me think of an interaction that I had on there where some guy said something and my immediate reaction was almost to like demonize him. I saw that in myself, and I thought to myself, like, okay, well, looking back, I thought to myself, like, in the moment I thought I was right when I was responding to him, and like, I don't even really respond to people like that anymore, so I don't know why I did. The way that I responded, it just kind of like seemed like I was making it seem like this guy said what he said in complete bad faith, when it's like, I don't even know this person, so how am I supposed to know what kind of intent they had when they posted that thing? And that's just kind of how the internet is in general. And yeah, I like totally fell victim to it. And when he responded to me, I did end up apologizing, and I said, yeah, you're right. I actually read into what you were saying in a way that was unfaithful to what you were actually saying. You know, if you think you messed up in any way at any moment, then minimizing that gap as soon as you can and apologizing is probably something that I think demonstrates a pretty high level of maturity. And I'm not saying you could just apologize your way out of anything, but to me in that situation, I thought that, oh, okay, I think that I was more in the wrong here, even if what he was saying could be interpreted as something that, I don't know, might get misconstrued by somebody. It would probably make more sense to me to actually say what it was. So this guy was saying something about how people aren't really consistent if they're going to the gym like 28 days out of 31 days out of a month. And then he was saying that's not consistent, or I thought that's what he was saying. But what he really meant was that's what consistency would be, that 28 out of 31 days. And if people say they're being consistent and they're not hitting numbers like that, then they're not actually being consistent. Does that make sense? But the way that he worded it made it sound the opposite of that. And that's how I read it. So maybe that's a reading comprehension thing on my part as well, but it was just formed in a weird way. The whole thing, the post was framed in a weird way. The reason I bring this up is because, yeah, it would be really hard to change the whole entire world to the point where, yeah, you know, nobody is posting reactionary or rage bait nonsense anymore. But I also feel like it's entirely possible for each individual to form a circle or take the circle that they already have and create change in that circle, and then, you know, that will fan out from each of the individuals in that group. And I was thinking to myself that, so, you know, the more that I act in accordance to that stuff, the more I think that I can actually form that circle that I'm talking about. This is so close, dude. Oh my god, I'm such an idiot for that. It's so easy too. Yikes, that was a rough one, man. There's no reason that I should be dying this soon in the run. This is just one of those games that's kind of difficult to have a good conversation and play at the same time, because I get locked in. You know, I'd love to be able to say that I completely embody everything that I talk about on this channel and everything that I read, but just the process of, you know, being a human being, I mean, it's hard, man. One cool thing about this channel is that it functions in tandem with my physical journal, because I'm basically creating evidence where I can hold myself accountable. So if I fail to, you know, uphold what I'm talking about, then, you know, the evidence is right there.
I will keep coming back, just like your stupid heads.
This might not be good, but yeah, we're gonna give it an honest shot. Okay, wait, actually, we might be able to do something here. Okay. I firmly believe that, and not about like some manifestation type nonsense, but the more you talk about things, especially the more you create those social contracts, then the more likely you are to uphold them. And again, I don't mean any of this like some like biohacking, brain hacking things. It's just like, it's about behavior change. I have changed my behavior a lot over the past couple years. It's something that I care a lot about, and I try to put a lot of thought into. So the more that I think about it, if I can help other people do that alongside me, then I think that that's the way that I can like really make a legitimate difference. Because at the end of the day, I think it's kind of foolish to think that like I would be somebody that, you know, changes the whole entire world. I think that'd be kind of like egotistical if you believe that you're going to be the guy that changes the world. Not that you shouldn't try, but yeah, it's just a lot, really. And I think it's a lot more impressive to change your community, whether you want to think about community as this physical thing or this thing that is, you know, not as tangible, but it's still very much visible, like the internet. Alongside that too, I think that every single person has the power to like change and affect those around them, whether you think that you're powerless or not. I mean, I do think that that ability is there. And the crazy thing too is that so many people do it unintentionally, and that goes a long way, because when you become a big creator, and we've all seen them, and you stumble really hard, you are forced to look at yourself and think about your influence. At least if you're smart, you'll think about your influence. Yeah. Yikes. That was just not a good run at all. That was pathetic. I'm actually kind of ashamed to put this in a video. Next time, next run. One more run. No, but that basically concludes what I wanted to say in this video. I know I kind of like rambled a little bit, and maybe I wasn't as focused as I'd like to be to outline exactly what I meant. I just want to provide some sort of framework to help people not be as reactionary and like attention seeking and rage baiting on the internet, because I feel like it just makes all of us worse people, like as a whole, when we're constantly vying for attention in the worst ways possible. And I bring it up just because in that interaction that I was talking about earlier, I saw myself not being the person that I am trying to be. I'm kind of exposing myself here in a way. And I think that that's, you know, that's the best way you can learn. You can learn the best from other people's mistakes, but the second best way is to learn from your own mistakes. If there's somebody out there that's trying to tell you like, hey man, I messed up in this way and I really don't want you to mess up in this way, so, you know, pay heed, then I think that a lot of the time you should listen to those people. You shouldn't listen to everyone, because some people just have mashed potatoes for brains, and they're probably not providing the greatest advice, if that's what you want to call it. There's another thing too, you know, wisdom is taking your own advice, because we always seem to be really good at giving advice to other people, but whenever it comes to doing those things or things similar for ourselves, we just kind of like throw it off to the side and we don't really pay much attention to it. It's weird, the plague of being human, right? I don't want to be some guru or anything like that. I just want to help people. I'm going to give this another couple goes, try and get the hell out of the underworld. So thank you for watching. I appreciate you. And to the couple people that popped into my live stream the other day and said that they really enjoy my videos and I've never seen their names before, that means a lot. That's something that really goes a long way. So thank you again. Try and be nice to people. You know, just keep it moving, and I'll see you on the next one.